England against the Dutch. Well, that brings back all kinds of memories.
Last 5 minutes of the first half, still 0-0. Remember, England want at least a draw from this game. The Dutch need a victory.
I was the England captain at the time, but I was injured. I had a hamstring problem, missed the game.
Can Black get there first? Black can get there first for England. That's got to be a penalty.
Koeman pulled Platty down right on the edge of the box. Should have got sent off. Incredible how the referees kept him on.
He's changed his mind and given a free kick outside.
Ryan, is that not a sending off offence under the rules of the game?
Absolutely. Graham Taylor can't believe it. He's being shepherded back. Koeman with the free kick for Holland. A vital moment as two sides look for a place in the World Cup finals. He's going to flip one now. He's going to flip one. He's going to flip one. And it's in! Well, here's another occasion. It's important for both sides as we come to a critical point in these European Championships.
Best I've ever played in any performance in an England shirt was that day.
Gascoigne. Sheringham again. And Shearer. And it's 3-0.
It was incredible. The atmosphere at Wembley, performance, magnificent.
2 for Teddy Sheringham. 1 for Patrick Kluivert in reply. But England go marching triumphantly into the quarter-finals where they play Spain.
Well, it was unforgettable, wasn't it, that 1996 Euros win over the Dutch. The only time England have beaten the Netherlands in a competitive game. Before that, you heard the memories of 1993, and of course Ronald Koeman, now the coach of the Dutch side. Well, he should have been sent off in that match. He wasn't. Then he goes and scores. He knocks England out of the World Cup. He was literally the Dick Dastardly of football in the eyes of English fans, at least at the time. Look, most of this talk about England in this tournament has been about the criticism that the players and Gareth Southgate have received for their performances. So talkSPORT's Faye Carruthers sat down yesterday with Phil Foden to find out his thoughts on the negativity.
Everyone's getting a little bit of criticism. I think it's just part of the game. As long as we don't read too much into it and believe in what we're doing on the training field, we know what we have, in the changing room and how we work every day. I feel like sometimes we have to block out that noise if we're ever going to achieve anything. So yeah, obviously it's difficult. It doesn't help when there's a lot of criticism, but like I said there, you just have to keep believing in what we're doing. We keep getting results, so yeah, at the moment we're proving people wrong.
Do you know what I found funny? I looked back at a conversation that we had 3 years ago ahead of the Euros, well, during the Euros in 2021, and it was almost identical to the narrative that's going on at the moment. Do you think you kind of just get used to that as an England player? Definitely.
There's a lot of fans out there who are passionate, and we know that, and everyone shares different opinions. So yeah, sometimes it is what it is. It comes with football, I suppose. Playing at the highest level. So you just have to learn how to deal with it.
You know what, Gabby, I think hearing the manager talk so much about the criticism and the negativity, and now the players talking about it, I think the whole thing, because I don't believe there has been that much criticism, I think the whole thing is an attempt to create a siege mentality around the squad.
I just think that if I was in that England squad, I'll just be coming out in interviews and saying, yes, I agree, we should be playing better, but we're getting through. Performances hopefully will come. We're working on the training pitch to improve. Do you know what I mean? Say the right things, play the game. And some players have come out and they've had a little bite back at the fans. You can't do that. You have to just come out with the right answers of, we're not performing, I get it. And they'll all know, Jeff. Phil Foden will know he could do better than what he's done. But you know what? It's tournament football. I can understand sometimes you're not going to play at your best. But just being honest, and everyone can relate to that. If players come out and say, you know what, we're not playing our best, we're trying our hardest though, then no one's going to really criticise that much. It's when you try and act like we can't see the problems that are in this England squad. But if they go and win this tournament, no one's going to look back and say, yeah, they won the tournament, but I'm still not happy. We didn't play well. We didn't get enough shots off. No, No one's going to care come Sunday. We're going to be all celebrating, and Southgate will get a statue, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And Phil Foden, look, nobody's suggesting he's not trying his socks off, because
Exactly.
he clearly is. It's just that he hasn't been the Phil Foden of Manchester City for England. But, let's hope that he is tomorrow against the Dutch. Let's take a couple of calls. Paul is a Birmingham City and England fan. I think he's a bit of a frustrated man. Morning, Paul.
Good morning, Paul.
Morning, Gabby. Morning. I'm not frustrated. I'm just utterly flabbergasted at the talent we have, and the players are not using it. And I'll just give you a quick example. Virgil van Dijk plays for Holland, now he plays for Liverpool. He'll play the ball to his left-sided player, right-sided player, get it back, and look to play a ball into midfield. I can't remember John Stones, who Pep trusts to put into the middle of the midfield sometimes, playing a ball forward. It's just sideways, sideways, sideways. Harry Kane's done. His legs are burnt out. He needs a rest. Bellingham's the same. Jeff, you just said Foden doesn't play for England like he does for Man City. So the question really is, why not? That's got to be down to Gareth and the coaching team. The only positive thing we've done, and I believe Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank deserves the credit, is how amazing we took the 5 penalties and the psychology that they use separate the players and that. The rest of it's been utter garbage. I'm not even going to watch on Sunday.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
I'm not. I'd rather watch you, Gabby, scoring.
Why not, mate? Why are you not watching? Has League One started already or something on Sunday? Is that why you're not watching?
Well, I'd rather be in League One and loyal than like some of the players are today and take the money. At least you were loyal to Villa, mate. At least you were loyal to it.
Hey, Paul, thanks very much indeed
Paul.
for the call, because we've been presumptuous to think that we're even going to get to the final on Sunday.
There's a big game tomorrow.
One thing there, by the way, that Virgil van Dijk, who Paul mentioned there, he's had a lot of criticism in Holland and in the Dutch media about his performances.
Against Turkey, mate. I'm watching the game against Turkey. I'm watching Yilmaz. And he was a nightmare for him. He was pest. He was running in behind. There was on the sideline, and Van Dijk took him out, got a yellow card for it. So Van Dijk's not had the greatest of tournaments. That's why I want to see Watkins pestering him, in behind him. If Harry Kane plays, it's going to be the same, isn't it? Coming into midfield, Van Dijk's going to be enjoying.
Let's have a word with Graham. Graham's a Charlton fan. Morning, Graham.
Good morning, Graham.
Morning. Yeah, I'm really interested to get Gabby's view, because although I totally agree with everything that's been said about the substitutions, I want to see Gordon on. When Gordon came on, even briefly, we saw Rice up front as well. But I do think that probably the best bit of play I've seen from England this tournament was in the first 15 minutes of the first game, with that starting 11. They were zipping the ball about at real speed. They looked exciting and they created a goal. Why did that team, the team that we've seen most of, stop playing like that for the rest of the tournament?
That's the question everyone wants answering, don't they, mate? But what I would say is that since that first half of the Serbia game, has the performances been good enough for some of these players to keep getting picked? Like I've said all through the tournament, the talent we've got on the bench. We've got players that start in top teams in the Premier League. Your Palmers, Watkins, Bowen. These players, Wharton hasn't had a kick all tournament. So, end of the day, we would make changes, but Southgate will come back and say to us, listen, I'm in the semi-final. We could be in the final. So he's going to do it his way, not our way.
Graham, thank you very much indeed for your call. England against Holland tomorrow evening. Of course, it is live on talkSPORT.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.